Hello, everybody. My name is Misha Sharif, and you're watching Decoding Careers, where I talk to professionals about their careers. Today, we have Miss Rachel Rollins, who works as an 8th grade English teacher for the Frisco ISD School District in Texas. Now, here's some information about teaching. On average, the salary for a teacher ranges from about $39,000 to $93,000 a year. What you need to get a teaching license varies from state to state, but all teachers must have at least a bachelor's degree. And in general, it'll probably take about 4 years of schooling. So, Ms. Rollins, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. So, could you tell me how it's like? I know there's STAR testing right now. So, could you tell me how is it like right now? And I know it could be really stressful on you. So, how is it?
Yeah, so right now STAR is going on. It can be stressful just making sure that everything goes smoothly and we follow all of the state requirements. But for the most part, I think kids are doing great on their tests and things are going well.
That's awesome. And I know like teaching, especially as a teacher, like you have to like there are different things that come up like with tests. You need to know how to do tests and stuff. So, could you tell me what 3 words describe your profession?
Yeah, of course. So 3 words, if I were to have to narrow it down, I would think active would be one of them, fulfilling. I get a lot out of my job and I'm very thankful for it. And creative, constantly wanting the kids to be creative as well as the teachers having to be creative.
And I think you have to kind of like be able to like adapt to every situation, like using your creativity and stuff. And as a teacher, you're the one providing the education, but could you tell me the kind of education or like what kind of educational background is best for being a teacher?
Of course. So you've already mentioned it already. So with the educational background that is required is a 4-year degree. So a Bachelor of Arts from any state college.
That's awesome. Yeah. So going further into education, are there any specific or special certifications you need for this job, or is it kind of just like 4 years of education, you're done?
Yeah, so whenever you complete your 4-year bachelor's degree from a college, there are certifications that you are required to get. So some of those, it may depend on what subject area you're teaching or what grade. So there's an EC through 6th certification that you can get, 4th through 8th with a specific subject area, which is what I did, 4th through 8th for English language arts, or you could get an ESL certification, so English as a second language, and there's also SPED certifications. If you're wanting to teach high school, that would also require a different certification on top of your 4-year degree.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. So, like, you kind of have to like for certain things, if you're gonna be an elementary school teacher, you need certain things, and if you're gonna, okay, that's really important. And going around with specific certifications, what do you think are the 3 most important skills you need for your job? Because I know you have to have like certain skills to be a teacher. So, what do you think are the 3 most important skills you
Yeah,
need?
so 3 important skills for the teaching career would be organization. You're constantly having to organize your lesson plans as well as your day-to-day activities. You have a lot of different meetings you go to. Another one would be communication. You're working on a lot of different types of teams as well as having to communicate to your students as best you can. And then the last one, I would say adaptability. I think you actually had mentioned that earlier, and you're so right. Adaptability is a huge skill, necessary skill within teaching.
That's awesome. And I know, like, you were just talking about adaptability, and I'm pretty sure you use adaptability every day, all day, because every student's different and you teach many classes. So, could you describe a typical day for me in your job?
Yes, so that's hard to actually narrow down because each day looks a lot different. But for the most part, you will meet with teams within the school. So other grade level people that are in the same subject area as you, you'll have meetings with them. Sometimes you have meetings with the whole staff. Sometimes you have meetings with just the people that are within your subject area so that you all make sure you're on the same page. So that typically I'll have some type of meeting each day. And then other than that, I come in, I make sure everything's ready to go for the day. I have lesson learning objectives on the board so students also know what their goal is for that day. And then teaching the students my lesson, and I'm planning for the next week, the next month, to make sure that I'm ready to go for those lessons as well. So lots of planning, lots of meeting, to make sure we're aligned, and then as well as the best part, teaching to the students.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, so you were just saying that like every day is different, right? So there are kind of a couple of things, well, not a couple of things, but a lot of things that can be unexpected. So what are some challenges that come with your job?
So, like I said, there's lots of things to do. So, with that, the biggest challenge is going to be lack of time. It's hard to really fit everything you want and need to do within a day. So, that has been a challenge that I've had to overcome. This year, though, a big challenge that was new was having to transition onto Zoom. So, I see that potentially being a continued challenge, just making sure that students on the other end, um, if this continues, they're getting the same education as the face-to-face student.
Okay, that's honestly, COVID-19 has been like the root of many evils this year. Like there's a lot of things that have just like gone backwards and a lot of things that have been really troublesome, especially for teachers because and students, because we're all just trying to navigate Zoom and trying to like learn stuff, like but we're not actually seeing each other. As a female teacher, just in general, I know like the female stereotype is like the female stereotype is like you have like a family and like you take care of your family and all that stuff. So it can get your life as a teacher can be really hectic. So how do you balance your family life with your work life?
Yeah, great question. So as of right now, I don't have any children, but family is really important to me. You're definitely right. And the way that I make sure that I'm balancing that is just on the weekends, making sure that that is my time, that is my off time, so I don't take any papers home to grade. That's definitely something I've had to learn because I do feel so connected to my kids in my classroom. Um, Another way I kind of balance that is if I am really busy in the week and I want to, be involved within school and go to sporting events and things like that, I love to invite my family along because this school is my home away from home. So it is awesome to really combine those two worlds as well.
That's awesome. And I think like I mean as a teacher and as a student, like as a student and you as a teacher, like whenever like I could never imagine like if I was a teacher, I could never imagine like separating between both worlds just because like for me, like if I because for me right now I'm a student, right? So I can kind of think of like I can't think of like bring my family to school. It just doesn't work like that. But like I think it's kind of cool that you're able to do that.
Thanks.
And and lastly, for everybody who wasn't paying attention, this is please pay attention. This is something I want you guys all to take away. What advice, Ms. Rollins, would you give to a high schooler who's trying to become a teacher?
Yeah, so I would definitely say to put yourself out there. Really try to experience teaching. Some ways that you can experience it would be tutoring or volunteering. Another great way to really know that you are interested in teaching and that is the career path you want to go down is to really, like I said, get involved, try to get that experience. So leadership roles, if there's any organization you're in within school, try to find a way to like take on more responsibilities so you really can hone in on those skills like I talked about earlier, organization, communication, and adaptability. So that way you can really practice those and know that you feel comfortable doing those so that you can take on teaching as a career.
Amazing. That's actually, thank you so much for giving that great advice because I think if you know what you're going to do, I don't know what I'm going to do and we're in high school, but if you know what you can do, you can prepare for it. So thank you so much, Ms. Mullins, for coming and letting me interview you. And I hope everybody can take something away from this. So thank you. And